Hello Capsuleer, my name is Gildy and welcome to EVE Online. Today I want to throw an idea at you which will probably be known to a lot of you, but I hope that this video might have a
"Wait a minute!"
moment or two for some of you. I am going to be talking about thinking outside the box when it comes to hauling or hauling outside the box. The main idea is that for certain commodities, the regular hauling ships might not be the safest, cheapest, or fastest hauler for the situation. Especially if you are still training into something completely unrelated to hauling and steering off of that to get a racial hauler skill to 5 and transport ship skill, or the whole set of skills needed for a freighter is not something you want to spend a month or two on. Not to mention the ISK you need to drop on some of those ships. Last word before I get to the main part. I am not saying that this is the ultimate guide to those ships. There might be other fits or ship variations that work better with whichever application you want them for. And this is basically a result of a mind experiment that I just made for myself. Basically, I asked the question of what unconventional ships could be used for hauling or fast travel that are not the regular tanky or cloaky haulers that you can get in EVE Online. If you have other ideas for ships or fits for the ones that I will be presenting today, feel free to drop them in the comments down below so we can make this little video a place where people can brainstorm ideas together. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. I will divide the ships I will be talking about today into 3 categories. First, ships that on the first glance have nothing to do with hauling, be it small fast ships which will work for low volume of goods that require quick delivery, maybe some sneaky ones of various sizes that will help you run through more dangerous areas quite safely. Some of the ships here will also double as travel ships if you need to move your pod somewhere, which will be faster and safer than using a shuttle. Secondly, I will touch on the topic of the best mining product hauler for fast and stealthy transport that could be better than your friendly neighborhood blockade runner. Lastly, I will show you a ship that people do forget that it could be used to move some limited volume of ships, so that's not only the domain of Bowhead and capitals in low-sec or null-sec, but you can also use one of your alts if you have them trained for mining in order to be able to move some of the goods for you. Off to the first category then. Ships on the smaller side include everyone's favorite Sunesis. It's a surprisingly versatile little destroyer that can be used as both fast travel ship and a cargo mover for low-level distribution missions. You will be able to see the stats of the ships on the screen while they are being talked about. So let's go over the quick stats of the Sunesis. 2-second align time, 9200 EHP, 975 cubic meters of cargo hold, and 6.34 AU per second warp speed, which is already better than the one of a shuttle. You can swap 2 of the warp speed rigs for additional cargo space if you really need it, but that will slow your warp considerably. Additional perks of this ship are enough tank to survive any smart bomber trying to kill shuttles, and if the gate is too hot, you can always do the prop mod and cloak jump trick to avoid getting caught or scanned. Next, if you need to move low volume goods over long distances, it will get tiring fast. Doing your first 50 jump trip might be a mind-numbing experience, so why not make it easy on yourself? If you are lacking skills to fly tier 2 ships, you can throw some ISK at the problem and choose a Dramil. Quick stats: 2-second align, 3800 EHP, giving you a little bit of protection against smart bombs, 130 cubic meters of cargo hold, 10.87 AU per second warp speed. I would only take this ship through high-sec though, as it has no real protection from insta-lockers, as yes, there can still be ships that can catch you with 2-second align time. For example, when they camp Amazon with Spectre Fleet, people do come up with some ridiculous lock speeds. Also, I may or may not be paranoid about traveling as safely as possible. However, in high-sec, it's a pretty neat, low skill level fast travel ship. And if you are a complete newbie and cannot even get into a Dramil, and you want to get a travel ship on a budget, check out this Punisher. 2-second align, 6000 EHP, 135 cubic meters cargo hold, and 8.69 AU warp speed. I think it might be the best budget fast travel ship with the lowest price that still warps quite fast. If you need to burn purchase anywhere, it can also easily go 3600 meters per second while still having 2-second align, but it loses a lot of the tank. Now, if you like to travel even faster and get yourself into more dangerous areas, may I suggest interceptors. They warp faster than a drummill, can perform the micro warp drive cloak trick in low sec if needed, and use interdictor nullifier to run through bubble camps in nullsec. And interceptors are the best to actually travel through areas that might be camped with bubbles, as you do have a cooldown reduction on reactivation of the nullifier module, with tier 1 version having only 20-second reactivation time, meaning you can easily wait the timer out while under the effect of the gate cloak. On to some quick stats. Again, 2-second align time with the fit I am presenting, 4800 EHP, 96 cubic meters cargo hold, and 12.48 AU per second warp speed. Here, everyone will have their own favorite interceptor, but I might be a little bit biased towards the Galenta line of ships, having started my character in that race and flying with their ships the most when I started the game. This is why I chose an Ares to show this role. Another idea is that you can repurpose any T2 exploration frigate to not only have the option to move fast, but also have decent cargo and, most importantly, covert ops cloak that allows you to run with a minimal chance of getting targeted if you follow the most important rule of cloaky travel, ABC, always be cloaked. For this I have chosen the Helios ship, my favorite exploration frigate, and these are the stats of the fit I came up with. 3-second align time, 7800 EHP, 201 cubic meters cargo hold, and 8 AU per second warp speed. And while we are at the topic of cloaky ships that are used to explore but can double as sneaky haulers, there is always a stratios. With some shield tank, it can reach surprisingly nice cargo space while still aligning in just 3 seconds, can cover ops cloak, but it has no ability to use a nullifier, so you will need to tread lightly if you do want to move through any nullsec. Quick stats for the Stratios fit are 3-second align time, nearly 30,000 EHP, 1300 cubic meters of cargo hold, and 6.09 AU per second warp speed. And this closes my gallery of interesting ships that can be used to haul general goods. For the second category, we have 2 amazing ships that land between a deep space transport and a blockade runner when it comes to cargo, if what you are hauling is ore, ice or gas, and do all that for a fraction of the price of any of the T2 hauling ships. I am of course talking about the Prospect and the Endurance. Prospect, being a covert ops frigate, already has an ore hold as big as a cargo hold of a fully expanded crane, and maybe around 1000 cubic meters lower than a fully expanded other blockade runner, while aligning in 3 seconds compared to 6 of an expanded blockade runner. And if you are really pressed for cargo space, you could even expand the tiny item hangar there instead of putting all the tank in low slots. And all that for the low price of 36 million ISK at the time of this recording. That is a little bit over a fifth of the price of a crane haul. And for statistics of a travel fit Prospect, we have a 3-second align time, 7100 EHP, 133 meters cargo hold, and a 12,500 cubic meters mining hold, and 8.37 AU per second warp speed. This will be as safe as a blockade runner, fly faster, and have comparable cargo capacity, making it an excellent choice for moving any mining products. However, Prospect also has a brother that theoretically has less mobility because it cannot use covert ops cloak, but if used right, you won't see a difference really in safety of that ship. Endurance, because that's what I'm mentioning right now, has a massive for a frigate ore hold that even though it cannot use covert ops cloaks, it has no penalty to movement speed under any cloak. So You can hit a line, immediately cloak, gain the needed speed to be able to warp immediately, then hit uncloak and enter warp. Quick stats of a travel fit endurance are as follows: 3-second align time, 9,900 EHP, 200 cubic meters cargo hold and a 19,000 cubic meters mining hold, and then an 8.37 AU per second warp speed. While you could push this ship to align in 2 seconds, that would take away from your warp speed completely, which, if you want to move stuff for several systems, warp speed will end up being better for you. And also a tip for any of you out there that might not reach align times that I mentioned in the video. You can use the EM-703 implant or low to mid-grade Nomad implants to push your align time down while you are working on your agility skills. No need to get a full set, just enough to push your align time to desired number. Last but not least, the ship moving category. People sometimes forget that it's not only the domain of capital ships being used as suitcases or bowheads slogging through HiSec. An Orca has, maybe not amazing, but a ship maintenance bay. This means that with its 400,000 cubic meters hangar, it can move one battlecruiser, a cruiser, and a frigate. It's not a lot, but it could be used for some neat nomad life. If you want to easily move a few ships you use for some type of content, and you might have a mining boosting alt that is doing nothing at the moment. So if you would like to have a brick tanked Orca to move some goods, here it is. Its stats are 10-second align time if you pulse your micro warp drive once, 506,000 EHP, 24,036 cubic meters cargo hold, 40,000 cubic meters fleet hangar, 187,500 cubic meters mining hold, and 400,000 cubic meters ship maintenance bay. As you can see, an Orca can basically move everything you might ever need to set up shop in a new system if you want some vacation from the area you operate in usually. It aligns quite fast for such a massive ship with the help of a micro warp drive and warps faster than a bowhead. With the presented fit, it can also perform an emergency micro warp drive cloak jump trick if you overheat the micro warp drive and have near perfect speed related skills. You can find more on the trick in one of my previous videos, and a card should pop up on the screen right now to lead you there. And that is it for this week. Do you have any uncommon ships that work surprisingly well at moving items around safely? Share them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to see my future uploads. And if we never see each other again in Space Capsulia, fly safe.